All right, next up, Digimon Storytime Stranger, which Damiani ended up on. I'm not even sure if this is one of the ones we had unannounced or not, but either way, Damiani, I know you were talking to them and you're like, I don't know a lot about Digimon, I like Pokemon, but you were attracted by the art style. How did it go?
Yeah, I did let them know at the beginning of the appointment that not only that I really have not been into Digimon most of my life. All my life, I guess I should say. Yeah. But also that, like, I mean, I really like that. I thought the trailers were really good. And like really I told them that as someone who's not into Digimon, you got me interested.
Same.
And they loved hearing that feedback. Also, I mean, not everyone else knows this anecdote outside of here, but I also let them know. They knew that I was a person at Easy Allies who mistook this for Scarlet Nexus 2 twice now. From the opening moments of both trailers, I was like, Scarlet Nexus 2? No. They went and no comment. I was like, so Scarlet Nexus 2? No comment. I was like, oh, all right.
I will say that it is a little bit of a jump scare when somebody walks up to you at Summer Game Fest and like, hey, we saw your thing last night. I'm like, uh-oh, is it going to be good or bad?
Oh, no, it was all, it was jolly. Again, this, if you didn't know, this is from Bandai Namco. It's coming out October 3rd, 2025. PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series SX, Steam. Premise for this game. So, okay, first of all, I got to back up real quick. So, as admitting that I didn't know anything about Digimon, I got a little bit of like a crash course. I felt so bad because I'm like, I was like, oh, this is good. I know you have to do this. I was like, oh man, like I got to see the game. I was like, so much lore dump on me. But I do know now that like Digimon is more about like, you know, the bonds between them, but also like Digimon have like more autonomy and like more like self-determination about their fate and stuff rather than like Pokemon, which is seen more like kind of pets, where Digimon are like their own person. Okay. And you know, you don't know that Digimon has the digital world where like they can take like Digimon have
the
a digital
world.
Oh,
yeah.
No, the digital world was name dropped multiple times in that trailer.
Yes. So this one, Story Time Stranger, and because you're talking about Code Vein and stuff, also has like time travel stuff to it. Yeah. I was getting like a little confused. Like I wrote down my notes. I'm like, this one also like has something about you go back in time to stop something as well. And I'm like, but like now I'm like, is that also Code Vein? So like, yeah, but like that's why you're a time stranger because your personality, you know, stranger in this time. But you're the main character. Your name is Inori. They said you could pick a male or female version of that character, and you have a Digimon counterpart named Agumon.
Okay.
And that is like the one you see in the trailer, the one with the horns. That's that's your counterpart.
Humanoid looking.
Yeah. So there's like some. You're in Japan. It's on Earth. Rifts are appearing over Shinjuku, and you are sent to investigate. And I believe like you're trying to travel the past to try and undo like the collapse of the world, basically.
High stakes.
So the demo starts off. We're in the digital world, in this town. This is like vibrant, giant, like super, like full of life. Like it was like pretty like large size too. Like they said, like there's multiple areas of this. Like it's kind of like gonna be your hub environment. Multiple areas. Like look up verticality. Like look how like up you're gonna go up into those like higher floors and like explore that eventually. Tons of like Digimon like walking around. And there's one part they laughed at because I was walking down like an alley, dude. I was just walking down an alley and this giant like floating dragon thing was just like around the corner was just there. I walked past it and I was like, wait, what was that? I turned around in game and they like laughed like, oh, he just like, do you see his reaction? He like turned around and he goes, what? And I turned. It was like, because like he's like, I think it might have been a normal Digimon, but I was like, what is that? It was very the presentation was demo was very guided. I was the one playing most of the time, so they had me walk around and then they showed me how you're going to initiate combat in this game. It is a turn-based RPG. You can use your Digimon, whatever Digimon you have equipped to attack from like a ranged distance. or you could like walk up to enemies. So like think of like Pokemon the trainers. You walk up, they see you, they approach you. But in Pokemon you can like either bypass them, but like sneaking up on them didn't really like do anything in the older ones. This one, if you hit them from afar and they're like really low level and weak, you'll just automatically win the battle.
Okay, great.
So that's how they're handling like,
so
I don't want to do like
they're
low level remedial battles. This
picking
time,
that up now.
But if
People
you
are doing that.
if you do engage, you know it goes into the turn-based combat, and you have like your roster of your equipped Digimon that will be fighting with you. They have the different types. They explain the different types. All I can remember is virus. It's like, but for people like me, you can bring up scan prompts that will either scan your they'll show your current Digimon or the enemy and display like type. And if it's like, stronger to that type or not. Okay. And also all like your skills. So you have your basic attacks and then you have like your Digimon skills. And it'll show, like think of skills like elemental. And it'll show if they're stronger or effective, I guess I should say. And whether they're not going to be effective. So it's pretty self-explanatory, awesome, which is awesome to me. But in Persona Metaphor games, when you bring up that prompt the first time, you'll have a question mark by all the elemental, like the skill things. So like as you use them, it will fill in whether or not they're effective or not. Now the cool thing to keep in mind is because you still have the Digimon aspect. So like you have the type advantage or disadvantage and the skill elemental advantage or disadvantage. So you have like, if you're Digimon is a type advantage, that's like a multiplier. And then if your skill type is, that also goes up. So like you can have like attacks that are like 300% like effective and do like 300% damage versus like one's slightly effective will do like 150% or 200. So, and then ones will do like half damage, like 50% if they're not effective. So it was very easy to understand, but also very nicely presented and very easy to digest. So I really appreciate about that. You could write Digimon around. Like I know everyone's doing that now with their games, like Pokemon's been doing that, but like still cool, like this giant like lion looking tiger Digimon that I got to like ride around, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
Let's see what else. They have a thing when you're doing your turn-based attacks. There's a random chance for this kind of quick time event thing to happen where a ring shrinks down to a giant a small circle and you have to X at the right time when it's like over it. I was like thinking of like Xenoblade Chronicles that does the same thing. I was like, but it's way faster in this. So I was like, they're like, don't worry. I got most of them. They said they were actually happy with that. I was like, yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, you can, like, the main character will, so you use your Digimon to attack, obviously. You see the turn order in the top right. Sometime, you can switch out your Digimon with reserve. So, like, you have your 3 primary, 3 reserves, and then you have, like, your storage box, which can store up to, like, they said there's going to be 450 Digimon in the game. Okay. But it holds up to 999 because, duplicates.
Right.
Yeah, but your main character sometimes gets this it looks like a super attack type thing where they use this device and they buff all the active Digimon, which is really cool. So it's kind of like some kind of like special attack that can happen at random times. You obviously are going to want to know about like evolutions. And when it comes to Digimon, and they were talking about how a lot of Digimon have non-linear evolution. So like I get to explain it in the easiest way I can understand. So like in Pokemon, you start with a base type. It's the only one that can evolve.
Tier 2.
But like in Digimon, you don't, like, multiple different Digimon could evolve into the form you eventually want. You could start with like a totally different one and get to that point apparently. So they showed like the evolution window where you pick the current Digimon you have, and when it's ready to evolve, they show these silhouettes on both sides, and like you can pick which one you want to go to. But they will also track how you did it. So if you ever want to if you find like a different way to evolve, it will always show you how you did it.
Will that silhouette fill in once you've done it before?
Yeah. So it'll keep filled in, and it's represented by like 8-bit sprites, which is kind of cool. 8-bit sprite artwork. But the interesting thing about, for people who really care about like min-maxing or the meta, is that you have a meter that tells you when it's ready to evolve and when it hits 100%, but you can get that to go up to 200%. And what that does is when you evolve, whatever you pick to evolve, their level cap will be higher than if it was just like a lower percentage. So you can increase level cap. Also, you can de-evolve any Digimon, and it will retain all the stats it had, and you can re-level them up, and they will gain more. So if you want more strength on a certain Digimon, you can de-evolve it and keep re-evolving it and de-evolving it, I think, to like get a stat you want at a certain point. So if you're really hardcore like
Jeez,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll be skipping that part.
So did a few remedial battles. We did like a big boss fight against this like bird bug looking thing on top of like a tower. It had like its own like, big health bar. It had a phase where it like, kind of curled up with its wings and like you could either target its wings or its head, but it had like a shield meter and you had like only X amount of turns to break through that shield. Otherwise it's going to probably wreck me. So, a little bit of like tension there. Then some like heroic lion dude shows up in the middle of the fight and like says, I'm going to join you and like, gives you the upper hand, classic, anime stuff. I was like, of course. And yeah, like it's fun, and as you said, like they have the other thing is that's different from like Pokemon as being a newcomer. Pokemon, you have like 4 skills basically you choose from. This you have like attack, guard. You have like multiple skills. I think you had like 6 to like 8 skills available, and obviously you have stuff that can buff your attacks. You have stuff that can increase defense, and then like your elemental stuff you just said. Also, if things are going too slow for you, there's like a speed up thing. Like it's like R3, I believe.
Need it.
And you go up to 5x speed, which will skip the animations. So like in Pokemon, I think you just go in and turn off battle animations. This you just can control from the battle screen and you can just do it that way, which is really cool. And also, like I thought the menu UI design was pretty nice. Like it looked, like 3D effects going on, so it wasn't like flat 2D like in a lot of Pokemon games. And yeah, I grasped it pretty quickly, I think. And honestly, I think it's what I saw was pretty solid, but also like pretty basic so far. So I'd really like to see what else it offers, like from the story perspective. Like, are there going to be quests? I mean, what environments am I going to be going to? Because like we were just pretty much stuck in that hub environment for the entirety of the demonstration.
I love the look of it, man. It gives me Persona and Final Fantasy vibes with a little side of Pokemon.
Yeah, it does feel like a halfway point a bit there.
Yeah, I mean the trailer shows so much stuff that I didn't even like remotely even get to see. So like there's like a lot of crazy, like clearly there's a lot of cool stuff to come.
Yeah.
And also, yeah, you said that with Distinct, but like Bandai Namco has like a kind of look for their RPGs, and like I do like it. I mean, it's definitely anime aesthetic, but like it also
Splash
to me is
of Tales in
very
there.
yeah, it's very pleasing. Like Arise, Scarlet Nexus, like just try to list them. I mean, list them off.
Yeah,
they all kind of
like, awesome.
Yeah, but they also still feel a little bit unique enough.
Yeah,
Nice.
Sick.
Thank you, Damiani. There's a lot of stuff from last week from Summer Game Fest, so go and check all of that out. We've got a Summer Game Fest playlist, so you can just dig through that, see whatever you want, and then the big impressions, big preview videos. There's like 20 games in each of those, so get in at a timestamp, see everything that we saw there. Got a couple of interviews up as well. Go to youtube.com/easyallies, and the main channel page. You can find that pretty easily. And we are supported by folks just like you, so go to patreon.com/easyallies and chip in a few bucks if you've enjoyed all this and want to see it keep going. Thank you.